So today I wanted to go over the differences and similarities between the Rane 72 battle mixer and the S11 from Pioneer. It's also a battle mixer. A couple of things right off the top. The Rane is a 2-channel battle mixer, so you've got left and right. You can hook up CDs, you can hook up turntables. Either route you want to go with that is okay. With the S11, it has 4 channels. So you've actually got a 3rd and 4th channel where you can move tracks to, which I thought was phenomenal, man. If you do a lot of stem work and you use instrumentals from a certain song, vocals from another, you can then transfer the instrumental to like a deck 3 or a deck 4, and then you can bring in another song on either your deck 1 or 2 and transition out of that into that mix. And I thought that was pretty phenomenal. As I mentioned in an earlier video, the layouts of both of these units are really, really similar. And we'll start on the front, the face. On the Rane, you've got to the far left here, you've got some mic controls with level adjust, tone adjust. You've got an echo and an on and off switch for the second mic. Then you've got the contour controls for your crossfader and your volume faders. And you can reverse those as well. You got a headphone setup and a spot for a foot switch. The Pioneer is no different. The controls or the hardware that they use for the controls is a little bit different. So you've still got the mic here. The Rane 72 has a 2 mic capability. This S11 only has a single mic capability, and it has an on-off switch over here. You've got echo switch, you've got level, but then you've got like a 2-band EQ set right here for high and low. It's the same thing as the tone adjust over here on the Rane. Then when you get to your crossfader and your volume fader controls, they're a little bit different. Your crossfader, you've got a feeling adjust right here. This is like a tension adjust. So if you like the fader really loose, or if you like it a little bit tighter, you can adjust that right here. With the Rane 72, that adjustment, you're going to have to take this faceplate off. So you have to unscrew these 4 screws. And then on this fader, there is 1 or 2 screws, I can't remember, that you tighten or loosen for your liking. Same thing with the volume controls. They have a curve editor as well. And you've got your headphone jacks here. They both have 1/4-inch input as well as the 3.5mm input. The face is designed the same. You've got 2 volume faders, 1 crossfader, both on the Pioneer as well as the Rane. I like the Pioneer's choice for the faders. Not that the Ranes are bad. What I did not like about the Rane was the adjustability, and I'll get to that a little bit later on. You can see here, this is the Q select on the Rane. So you have button selects for the Qs. Over here on the Pioneer, you've got a fader for channel 1, channel 2, or in the middle. You've got level and mixing here. And for the Rane, it's up here on the side. So you've got your Q level and your mix here after you select the Q here. The pad layout is almost identical. You've got 8 soft pads, color coded, for what you're using. Same thing here on the Rane. The Rane has 5 modes. The Pioneer has 4 modes, but those modes also have sub modes. So it's different. The Rane has sub modes as well. You can use the shift key right here to access those other modes. Same thing with the Pioneer, shift key, and you can access those other modes. The paddles on this Rane are really, really heavy duty, man. These are some heavy duty paddles. Like, you are not going to mess these things up. I think you can drop some stuff on here and they won't break. They're also reversible. If you like that's the permanent position, and then this is the temporary position where it just kind of springs back into place. Same thing on the Pioneer, but you're gonna have a hard time tearing up these paddles. They're really durable. On the other hand, with these Pioneer ones, same thing. It's a paddle, and it's got the temporary position downward, and you've got the permanent position upward. But I feel like if you drop this thing, it's a light plastic, and you could potentially break it if the right thing dropped on it. This thing feels like it's kind of some sort of metal. You're not going to break this paddle, I can tell you that right now. I could take a hammer to it and I wouldn't break it. But if I took a hammer to this plastic, I would knock this plastic piece right off the top and I'd have to replace it. The screen, as you can see on the Pioneer, is just a little bit narrower than the Rane. You may not be able to tell with this video, but it's just slightly narrow. They're more narrow. They're both touchscreens. I like that. With the Rane, your effects banks are along the sides. All right, so you have got 6 Serato or software effects, and then you've got the 2 blue buttons that are illuminated. Those are going to be hardware effects. On the Pioneer, it's a little bit different. Your effects banks are located on the side. So you've got the mixer effects on the left-hand side where you've got 6, and then you've got 6 software effects, or what you would get out of Serato. The thing about the effects that I like on the Rane is you can use any combination of these. Like you can use all 8 of them at the same time if you'd like. You can use 2 of them together, 4 of them together, 6 of them together, any combination. On the Pioneer, you can only select 1 at a time, so you cannot combo up. At least I have not figured out how to combo up. If you know how to combo up with the effects, drop something in the comments. Let me know. I'd love to know how to marry 2 effects together. Outside of that, your loop function is on the Pioneer. It's kind of up top a little bit above each channel. Easily accessible. Your halving and doubling is right below that. And then over here on the Rane, let's see, where is that? They've actually moved it down to one of these buttons. So you're going to hit the button to determine a loop, and then your soft pads become the loop length, right? And I'm not sure about this layout, but for an example, it would be like a quarter note or eighth note, half note, 1 beat, 2 beats, 4 beats, 8 beats, 16 beats. It's going to be something like that on the Rane. Over here, you're going to just double up here. So when you turn the loop on, it may come on to I don't know what the default setting is. I think it might be a 1-bar loop. And if you wanted to make it a half or 1 or a quarter or eighth, you're just going to go down. If you want to go up 4, 8, 16, you're just going to double it, and you're going to activate it here, which is pretty cool. Each channel has got load and scroll, so you can scroll through your catalog. You can see that's going right through the catalog right there. You can actually load. You can double tap and load both sides. You can go back in the menu here. Pretty good right there. Here you've got load and scroll as well. This button here, the display also does come up here, but it's not going to come up here because I'm not connected to a computer. This is just power only right now. Your tap effects for the Rane is going to be up top, and then your menu key. And both of these can be utilized with the shift key in order to access sub menus. Over here, your tap tempo is going to be right in the middle. What I really like about the Pioneer is how you adjust the effects. So we're going to go into an effects setting. Let me see. This is, since it's not hooked up to the computer, I don't have access to the Serato or the software settings. So this is just going to be these echoes that you see at the bottom. And each one of these has 3 adjustable parameters, right? Over here, however, on the Pioneer, you've got 4 banks that you can save. And these banks can hold 12 effects. You've got 6 on the mixer side. You've got 6 on the software side. So each bank not only can hold those different effects, but if you go into those banks and you select a parameter, you can edit that parameter. So let's just go in here and look at the echo. You can not only change what effect is going to be used by that button or affected by that button, but you can go in and you can actually adjust the depth. And the adjustment on the Pioneer, in my opinion, for my feel and my taste, it's a finer adjustment. Over here on the Rane, you're going to have a more coarse adjustment. I was always a little dissatisfied with the ability to adjust anything on the Rane because it's just not fine enough for me. Each channel is almost identical. You've got phono CD, auxiliary, and an A and B on decks 1 and 2. Same thing over here with your Pioneer, if I can get that shot. Line, phono, and A and B, and that's going to be 1 for each side. All right, there's your trim for each side. And then you've got your 3-band graphic EQ, low, mids, and highs here, with your high and low pass filters located directly beneath that. That setup is identical on the Rane. So you've got your 3-band EQ right here with your low and high pass filter here, and your trim's going to be right above here. So all of your channel controls are just right in the same vertical line here for both sides on the Rane. Whereas on the Pioneer, it's still everything right, in that same vertical line. That just about covers everything, man. The Pioneer has a different level depth knob here, which is just an adjustment. I'm still trying to get used to using that thing. I am using my effects setups in here in the screen. I go in and I physically change all the characteristics to my effects there. And so I don't have to use this. I do kind of fine tune it at times, and you can listen to that through the master or through the cue, either way. The Rane does not have that. The Rane in that position has a touch effects button. And when you get to the touch effects, it's going to bring up let me see if I can get there. Without it being plugged up, I don't know if I'll be able to get there. One of the other things about the Rane is the difference in space between the shift key and these keys up here. I don't have very big hands, so it's very difficult for me to do that at the same time. So if your hands are smaller than mine, this is going to be a two-handed operation to be able to get that function together. All right, whereas it's not the same over here on the Pioneer. So I won't be able to get to that screen because this is not hooked up to a computer. I wanted to go in and show you how to edit out just the touch effects, and it's not going to allow me to do that. Actually, it does. There we go. It's a shift function. So this is the time and the filter. So as that effect is being applied, you can touch that screen and move it around and it will adjust. I wish I had some music playing so I could show you what that was doing. But this is a really cool feature. It's available on both the Rane and the Pioneer. Haven't experienced that with the Pioneer. Again, I've had this less than a week. I don't really use that function a lot, but let me tell you, I have experimented with it with the Rane, and it's a great feature for transitions, especially your filters, man. To just be able to do your filter with your finger instead of your filtered knobs, I can tell you that's a difference maker right there. To just be able to tap into that screen and to be able to actuate an effect and adjust it with your finger is really cool. The back setup, I can't really get to right now. I can show you the Rane. They're almost identical. They both have dual USB outputs. Let's see if I can get back there. This one has space for Rane 12s. So that's where you would put in your Rane 12 controllers. You've got left and right outs. You've got USB A and B. And then you've got phono and CD outputs or inputs. You've also got grounds for turntables, and you've got, like I said, the 2 mics. On the Pioneer, don't know if I'm not going to be able to see because I'm on the other side, but you've got standard power connection. You've got the same hookups here with phono and CD, the same 2 USB outputs, same left and right out XLRs. What else do we have over here? We've got a booth out. That's where this is connected up to. And you've got dual USBs down here. So I don't know if you can see that. Dual USBs down here. And this is for dual controllers up here. This has a power button. It's a push on and off, which I really like. And this has like a toggle switch. Has a left and right. You can see that. So it turns on and off left and right. Those are the major differences, man. Overall, both mixers are great. I'm really enjoying the Pioneer. I've had the Rane for 5 years. Got it in 2017. It's worked good for his mixer as far as output and, the tone, the adjustability, using the effects and everything like that. I am loving the S11 a little bit more. The adjustable parameters on the crossfaders as well as the effects, to me, has been extremely beneficial. Last night, I MIDI mapped my stems to the Pioneer. On the Rane, I just actually used one of the channels that I didn't use a lot. I think I used maybe the sampler. That may be that's what it would normally do on the sampler. But that may be, I don't know, something different. But I used one of these modes. I just took one of these modes and it no longer does what the actual key says. So when I hook it up, it wouldn't be a sampler. It's going to be the stems. And on the stems, it's going to have like your vocals, your instruments, your bass, and your drums. And then it's going to have effects. So it'll have a vocal echo out. And I don't know what the rest of the effects are for the instruments and the drums. But on the Pioneer, you can either choose to give up one of these modes. You'll sacrifice one of these modes, the one that you use least, and it will become your stems. Or you can MIDI map it out to one of the user banks. I don't know how many user banks this thing has, but you can access the user banks by repeatedly pushing one of the mode buttons, and it'll give you like a yellow set of user pads, and you can MIDI map those pads however you like. And so what I did, I went to my saved loop feature, and I took the saved loop because I use this for looping more than I use this. So I took this saved loop function, and this is now my vocals. I just did the same map as it was on the Rane. It was vocals, instruments. You have bass and drums here. And again, you've got I know this is echo out. I think this echoes out the drums or something like that. So really cool to be able to do that, to be able to MIDI map. And you can pretty much MIDI map anything to any button. That's what's really cool on both of these controllers. So if I had to say a preference, right now my preference is the S11. But they are both formidable mixers, man. I would rock a party on either one of these things without a question. If I show up and either one of these is part of the equipment I got to use, you will not hear any complaints from me. So that's it for the side-by-side comparison. Check back for more stuff. I'll be going over some more gear, man.